Please. So, chat, what did this girl do?
Doing lead-up segment will be condensed.
Get on people's IG Live? Tell me who else is live. I'll literally go on there.
As a brief outline is all that is needed before delving into the extraordinary mind of this individual. Jennifer was born in Markham on...
The baby's not live, bro. Alright, we're just gonna watch the video. I don't really care.
Ontario, where she was raised with her older brother in a middle-class household. Her parents, Beek and Han, were originally from Vietnam, and their method of parenting was strict. Very strict. What some might even class as authoritarian. Success and achievement from their children were seen as outright obligations, whether it be in academics or extracurricular activity. And some might argue these expectations took precedence over the well-being of the children themselves. Jennifer initially took the imposed pressure in her stride and put everything she had into figure skating. She had exceptional talent, and at one point was expected to compete in the...
Wait, they said she's live again. Let's see. Nah, chat, I Noti's didn't go out when no, they didn't. I don't know, I don't follow her. Are you guys trolling? Yeah, she's not live again. If you don't fuck with this video, you don't have to watch. Again, I'm doing what I want to do, bro. So if you don't fuck with it, you can leave. Yeah, I don't really care.
Winter Olympics, but she suffered
I'm done doing shit for views. I don't care if I get 1,000 viewers, bro. I'm gonna do what makes me happy. I'm gonna do what I like doing. If you don't want to watch, you don't have to watch, bro. I'm not doing shit whatever gets the most views anymore, bro. I'll give you guys that once a week, where that's where I get a guest on. I fell in love with streaming for a reason, bro, and that was doing whatever the fuck I want to do. So I'm not gonna sit here and get bossed around by a bunch of little shits that want to see something viral every night. I don't care, bro. I really don't care. I don't give a fuck about it. I literally did April, May, June of literally going viral, like, all the time, bro, and it's tiring. And not just that, when you dedicate your life to caring about views, it just drives people fucking crazy and makes them mentally shit themselves. So I don't want to do that, bro. I do not want to do that. When I start playing 2K, when I start playing, going back to my roots, when I start doing whatever the fuck I want to do, when I start wanting to react to scary shit, play scary games, I don't care if I get 1,000 viewers, 2,000, 100, 100 viewers. I don't care, bro. I just want to do what makes me happy, because I know some people are going to sit here and watch it, or some people are going to watch, you're going to be here with me the entire time. I don't care about the people who leave. I don't care. We have 30,000 people in here with no notification out. I don't give a flying fuck, bro. Like I said to you guys, I will only put up one day out of the week to care to go, not even care to go viral, but to make the people who only care about me for the viralness. The rest is for SSB and the people who genuinely fuck with me. Okay? That's all I gotta say. I'm not gonna repeat myself again. Suck a dick. If you don't like this shit, leave. Okay? Simple. Can I get some SSB spam in the fucking chat? Thank you.
A serious knee injury at the age of 14 and was told she could no longer compete. Her dreams were cut short, but of more concern...
So again, I'm gonna back everyone up. Middle-aged family, or middle-aged, nice modern family. Sister and a brother, and there's 2 family members, and the dad passed away, I think. Some shit, and she was like a pro roller skater or some shit. Let's just all tune the fuck in and watch, all right?
Was that her parents' expectations now had to be met through the more traditional route of education. And the issue was that Jennifer wasn't anywhere near as academically gifted as she was athletic. She was averaging a C- when her parents wanted straight A's.
Oh,
so rather than communicate with them, she decided to meet their expectations under false pretenses and began faking her test results. This led to her faking her end-of-year report cards.
Hey, I can't lie though! What year was this? She's mad smart! Because, alright, I'm going to tell you guys a little method. Let me just teach you guys a little method. If you guys are all in school and you want to lie about your grades, show your parents your grades online, right? You guys can do this thing, it's called Inspect Element, and you can literally change your fucking grades. I used to do this all the time. Dad, I have an A in this class when I'd really have like a fucking C. Inspect Element that motherfucker. Also, if you know friends that are good with Photoshop, they can also do the same shit with Photoshop. You guys already know? Okay, my bad. I just wanted you guys to... Okay, cool.
led to her faking a high school diploma and then a university acceptance letter to study pharmacology. In the abstract world of her parents, Jennifer was on her way to a noble and well-paid career in medical health care. In reality, she was a high school dropout living with her drug dealer boyfriend, whom she had been dating in secret for almost 8 years.
Excuse that. There was just a fucking horrible fucking car to drive past like that. Excuse that, bro. Anyways, I didn't hear that. Wait, why are you guys saying what the fuck? Yeah, so she was an Ivy League student, she went fucking crazy and shit, and now, okay, let's see.
Study pharmacology. In the abstract world of her parents, Jennifer was on her way to a noble and well-paid career in medical health care, when in reality, she was a high school dropout living with her drug dealer boyfriend.
Okay, that's fucked up, bro. That's fucked up, bro. That's so fucked.
She had been dating in secret for almost 8 years. She was eventually found out in 2010 when her parents discovered she had been living a double life, and was then given an ultimatum. At 24 years old, she had to choose between one of two options.
What the fuck?
Option one was that she had to live at home under a strict regime, cease all contact with her boyfriend, and only leave the house to go back to school.
She's 16!
Option two was that she could do whatever she wanted, but she would then be disowned from her family.
Cut off, of
she
course.
could never return home, and all financial support would cease immediately.
Of course.
Jennifer evidently decided neither option would suffice, so she created option number 3.
Which was?
She had her boyfriend arrange a mock home invasion, where 3 of his acquaintances would enter the Pan household and stage a robbery gone wrong. The 2 instructions were to first ransack the home and then murder the parents. The planned date was Monday the 8th of November, with the scheduled time being roughly 11 p.m. Jennifer would unlock the front door, and 3 figures were caught on a neighbor's surveillance camera entering the home at 11:00.
Bro, okay, so hold on a second. So basically, she didn't get her way because her parent, bro, what went through her brain to be this corruptedly dumb? Like how does somebody just think, oh, I'm gonna kill my fucking parents? I don't understand, bro. It had to have been the trauma that I'm gonna explain it right here. People aren't child predators for no reason. They go through something to become a child predator. For example, somebody who attempts to childly predator somebody, they probably got fucked up as a kid. They probably got predatored as a kid, right? You guys get what I'm saying? Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say? So what I'm trying to say is, if you, for example, a serial killer doesn't have the best childhood. Either she was fucked up in the head by her parents, or this 8-year relationship. When she started, she was 16. The guy was probably over 18, drug dealer, doing meth. It was probably him that corrupted her, made her fucked up. Now, I'm going to explain right now. And again, chat, listen. Just try to catch on and listen to what I'm saying. If you are a good girl, meaning your parents say, yo, straight A's, you must do this, no drugs, no partying, what are you going to most likely want to do? You're going to want to go out and party. So she probably snuck out one night, went to a party, a high school party, and unfortunately met a really bad guy who happened to be a drug dealer, who happened to be a very dangerous meth head drug dealer. Unfortunately, that's just what happens. So when I'm a kid, when I'm a parent, I'm probably going to let my kid have some freedom. You know, you can go to a party, you know, here and there, whatever. It's cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's cool. But like, you know what I'm trying to say? You got to have freedom, because now they're kind of fucked up in the head to where they're so enclosed and boxed, meaning you have no social life. You must get straight A's. You must focus. You must focus. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, chat? It's good to give freedom to your children because it puts them in a better, more normal mindset state.
5. They were then seen running out just under 18 minutes later. It was at that exact time 911 received a call from the same household.
Okay.
Where are you, ma'am?
Wow, this is giving me chills, chat, because this is real. Jennifer, fuck you for... Yo. What's up, bro?
Let me just pull up. Just me.
I can't.
Alright, man. Alright.
Well, when K-Song gets back, you can, but I just don't know if he, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, alright, man. I got you.
He's gonna come back soon, and then you could pull up for sure.
Alright. Just hit me up.
I got you, buddy.
Alright.
Hold on. This other number just called me. Who's this number right here? Fuck. All right. Okay, my bad. Here we go. Yeah, all right. This is really fucked up. Would you guys fucking like? I just can't believe this shit. You guys can't call me an L friend, bro. Like, just calm the fuck down. It's Kayson's house. You guys literally can't do that, bro. It's not my house. Obviously, I'm the one who invited Cuffham to come out to LA. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. Seriously, shut the fuck up. It's literally not my fucking house, bro.
You called me?
Is that other number you?
What other number?
Never mind, it was you. Okay, we're good. I'm gonna hit you as soon as Kayson gets back.
Alright, man.
Alright, bro.
Where are you? What? Avenue.
This is fucked up.
Avenue Road. Yes. You spell the name for me, please? Ma'am.
That's so fucked up, bro.
Hello? Yes? Ma'am, I need to know your address. Avenue Road, can you please spell? In Helen Avenue, my dad just went outside screaming.
No.
The street address for me, please. H-E-L-E-N. Someone broke in and I heard shots.
This is giving me chills, dog. Are you guys getting
Anne
chills?
was shot twice,
Oh.
once in the neck and once in the head. She was killed immediately. The father, Han, was also shot twice, once in the shoulder and once in the face. He astonishingly survived and was put into an induced coma once he arrived at the hospital. Jennifer was taken to the same hospital as a precaution, but was soon cleared of injury. She sat by her father's bedside for roughly 3 hours before she was taken to the Markham police station to give a statement as a witness.
I want to go through a form with you. It may seem kind of, you know, why you're doing this, but this is it's like you're swearing to tell the truth about what you're going to talk to me about, and it's also going to explain to you the penalties for not.
This is real, chat.
I don't expect you to help me, but for a homicide investigation, anyone who's very close to the investigation, we do this with. Okay, so this isn't suspecting that you're not going to tell the truth. This is more of a feature that you understand the importance of telling the complete truth.
All right, let's see how real this. Let's see how real she is.
Suspect at this moment. She is only giving a voluntary statement under oath. She has not read her right to silence, but instead informed of her rights as a witness. She is basically told that fabricating evidence with the intent to mislead is an offense. After reading the notification off paper, the detective gives Jennifer a more human explanation of the instruction.
What I've just explained to you is you're here voluntarily to help us, that you don't have to talk to us if you don't want to, but the importance of talking to us, and if you're talking to us, the importance of telling the truth. And if you don't tell the truth, there's criminal consequences for not telling the truth. That's all that stuff had to deal with. Okay?
The investigator then leaves to get the Commissioner of Oaths, which is for the purpose of swearing in the witness, but he first brings in a box of Kleenex.
Why?
This is universally recognized as getting startled, yet the official term in neurophysiology is the startle reflex via auditory stimulus. Hyperarousal from a traumatic event can often exaggerate this response in a manner similar to how Jennifer reacted to the sound of the door.
Hello, my name is Andrew Laspiro. I'm a Commissioner of Oaths with York Regional Police. I'm here so you can give a truthful statement, either by solemn affirmation or swearing on the Bible. Which do you prefer?
Swearing on the Bible?
Okay, just put your hand on the Bible.
This bitch put it on God, chat. She put it on God. Chat, she is straight going to hell, bro. She put this bitch on God. That's so fucked. Oh my God. All right.
Do you, Jennifer Pan, swear that the evidence you shall give on this investigation shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
My God.
Once Jennifer is sworn in, the lead...
Her hand is on the... Bro, her hand is on the Bible. That's so fucked.
Shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Chat, I'm not gonna... Okay, you guys say out loud on God, listen. Chat, I'm not going to put my fucking hand on a Bible and lie, bro. I'm sorry. That's bad. That's really bad.
Once Jennifer is sworn in, the lead investigator returns to collect the statement.
Now I want you to sort of take yourself back to earlier on today, yesterday, meaning the 8th of November, and tell me about your day. Okay, start at any point in time, wherever you feel comfortable.
Oh, let's see how smart she is.
We're gonna move forward. Okay.
Yesterday, probably around 9 o'clock in the morning. 9:30. My mother, she woke me up and she told me that she was going to visit my grandfather.
Throughout the day, Jennifer explains that she practiced piano, studied piano history, talked on the phone with her friends, and had dinner with her parents. Her mother left for line dancing at 8 p.m. and returned home at about 9:30, at which time Jennifer was alone in her room watching TV, ready to go to sleep.
Okay.
And then suddenly I just heard my mom calling for my dad to come down. And that's when I lowered the volume on my TV, and I could hear the voices weren't any voices I was very familiar with. And so I was scared and I couldn't move. I just sat in my room for a while. And then I thought I heard them all leave the top floor, and I peered out of my bedroom door. And a guy was there, and he came at me and had string in his hands and tied my arms back and said, "I have a gun behind your back. Do what I say. If you do what I say, then no one will get hurt. Where is the money? Show me where your money is." My mom kept trying to get up, and they kept telling her, "Sit down." And so I didn't want her to get hurt, so I told her, "Mom, sit down." They were trying to find her wallet, but her English isn't good, so she kept saying "purse." They kept pushing her down onto the chair.
Okay. Take your time. Take your time.
Dog.
All this is very important.
You really killed your bro.
Jennifer's nonverbal communication up to this point has made sense, and the reflection of her mother's last moments seems to push her over the edge. It could be assumed the detective still considers Jennifer a victim at this moment, but in the next moment, he will start becoming suspicious.
They kept all the lights off on the main floor. The only time there was light was when they opened the fridge door to see if they could find where my mom's purse was.
Take yourself back to a moment in your life when you have been overwhelmingly upset about something, and at the same time were trying to explain to someone why you were upset. You wouldn't quietly and reservedly convey the events. You would likely blurt them out in a forceful and disordered manner. Your sole focus would be on processing your thoughts and conveying them into speech. The emotional turbulence of severe hysteria and grief makes it very difficult to convey thought into actual dialogue.
I don't get it!
The simple wording of a sentence becomes very challenging. Jennifer seems to be more concentrated on how she's being perceived, yet finds her words easily and executes her sentences perfectly.
One of the gentlemen asked my father if he had money in his wallet and where his wallet was. So they took me, because I was next to the stairwell, they took me up the stairs to show them where my father's wallet was.
Purse in a fridge.
I didn't know. They had turned the room upside down. I didn't know where his pants were.
Gentlemen. Sorry.
The intruders retrieve $1,100 from the master bedroom and then tie Jennifer to the upstairs banister.
Next thing I know, I think I heard my parents going down the stairs, and my mom was asking them for me to come with them. They wouldn't let me come with them.
Huh?
And after they said, the last things I heard them say was, "You lied to us. You lied to us." And then I heard 2 pops. My mom screamed. I yelled out for her. And a couple more pops.
Take your time. Take your time.
And I think I heard my mom say or moan or something, and then they did one more before they left, and then one of the guys said, "We have to go now, it's been too long." And then they ran out the door, and I think once they were out the door, I heard my dad go up the stairs, and at that point...
Jennifer has clearly gotten her story straight beforehand, yet in the next moment appears to realize how unusual it is that she was able to make a phone call when her hands were tied behind her back to a banister. She hesitates, stutters, and even looks to the detective for approval twice before she quickly moves on.
I had my phone on me, behind me, that I had hidden there that they didn't know about. So I had my phone on me, behind me, that I had hidden there that they didn't know about. So
she's shaking too.
When they
Why is she shaking like that?
For them to all leave, and my dad ran up the stairs. I whipped up the phone and I called 911. But I still hadn't heard anything from
her. Her hands were tied.
All I could hear was my dad running on the street, just moaning and making sounds.
The detective then breaks the event down into components and has Jennifer go through each moment in more detail. The first of which is the appearance of the intruders. Jennifer now describes the one who appeared to be in charge.
The only thing I can remember was he had dreadlocks.
He had dreadlocks. So can you describe his race to me?
He was black.
Was his head covered? Was his face covered? Do you remember anything about that?
Just that his dreadlocks were kind of like flopping all over the place. I couldn't really see his face, and they kept the lights dark as much as possible.
You guys are crazy.
Did he have a gun? Did you see the gun?
You guys are crazy. Jack, come on.
Kind of, it was black.
Yeah. Do you know where the other guys involved in this are?
I know one stayed with my parents downstairs.
Okay.
The other one, I'm not, at that point in time, I was more focused on him, like, he was seeing me and he was coming after me.
So you're saying there's 3 for sure?
Yes.
That's all, you saw a total of 3 at one time, you saw 3 people together?
Yes, when I went downstairs, I saw 3 shadows.
She details the appearances of the other 2 assailants, whom she asserts were also black males. The detective then brings her back to the one in charge.
Now the first guy who spoke to you, did he have any accent?
None that I could make out.
Was it clear English?
English.
She's selling hard. She's a dumbass.
No accent.
From the terms he used, I didn't get to pick up an accent, no. He used short phrases.
He sounded Canadian.
I would say, yes, he was born here.
He was born here.
She asserts that the second intruder didn't speak, while the third had a Caribbean accent. She then goes on to say she was taken downstairs for a brief moment and saw her parents under guard in the living room. Her father was asked where his wallet was, and he told them it was in the master bedroom. Jennifer was then taken back upstairs alone with 2 of the assailants to help them find it. They don't find the wallet, but instead retrieve a pile of cash from inside the nightstand. Jennifer was then tied to the upstairs banister and left alone as the intruders went back down.
And the next thing I can hear are them telling my parents to move to the basement.
Okay.
And I'm asking them, why, where are you going? And my mom's yelling to me, I want my daughter. Why can't my daughter come too? I want my daughter.
Jennifer then hears one of the intruders yell, "You lied to us."
Who do you hear yelling, "You lied to us," or to that extent?
Number 3.
Number 3.
I'm assuming it's to my father, because he was the one asking for the wallet.
Now you hear this commotion downstairs. You said you heard 2 pops. And you heard who scream? Your mom. And what was she screaming? Do you remember?
I couldn't make it out. It was kind of like a cry yell, so it was just...
Okay.
They had made the first round, or pop, pop, and they had said, okay, that's enough. Let's go.
Who said that? Whose voice is that?
Number 1.
Okay.
And then I heard one more after that. And they were like, that's enough. Let's go.
Okay. And again, that's number 1.
What the fuck? Like, bro.
What do you hear next? After you hear the scrambling, they're gone. Because you're hearing no more. I gather that's how you assume they're gone, is because you don't hear it. Then you hear your dad.
I reached for my phone at that point.
And you call 911?
How, though?
Okay. When your father exits, you hear the door open. Because you hear your dog.
She just changed the story. On God, she just changed it. I swear, bro.
Like the wind coming in, and I just hear my dad, I think he's...
you think that he's sustained some kind of injury because he's not. You can't understand what he's saying. Okay. What about can you hear your mom? Okay. Where does your dad go? Do you know where? You never see your dad again until when we're at the hospital. I think that's what you said, right?
I saw him when he was on the gurney.
Is there any reason to suspect or anything that's happened in the recent weeks leading up that would have you guys be a target of some type of incident like this?
We live a straightforward, kind of almost routine life.
Whenever Jennifer smiles, it takes her a couple seconds to realize she's not exhibiting the correct behavior, and she then snaps back into her solemn stare. The two looks are so diametrically opposed to each other that it becomes glaringly obvious she's forcing one of the emotions.
What, in your opinion, would cause people to...
Imagine smiling after killing your parents, chat. Could you guys imagine? Imagine smiling after killing your parents, bro.
Or target
It's crazy.
your house to think there was a large quantity of money?
I'm not sure.
Now, you say your mom drives a Lexus.
It could be because of the aesthetics, yes.
What about your
What?
dad?
He drives a Mercedes and he loves that baby.
Is that right?
The questions end here, and the detective leaves the room for half an hour to double-check if he needs any more information.
Bro,
After 15
what?
minutes of Jennifer waiting alone, we're gifted with another performance of the startle reflex.
Okay.
Only this time, it's slightly less convincing. If investigators were certain of Jennifer's innocence, this would have been the first and last time she would have been questioned in such a manner. Police are extremely careful in how they involve victims in investigations as to not cause further unnecessary trauma. But on this particular occasion, it would come as no surprise that Jennifer's psychological well-being was of less concern. She was officially still a victim and witness, but unofficially a leading suspect. She was called back in to give another statement just 2 days later at 9 a.m. She was told the reason was to collect more details, but you'll notice that the line of questioning and the answers they attain have little to no use for anything outside of Jennifer's culpability. The actual reason for this second statement is to collect further information to use against her at a later stage.
This is crazy,
In this
bro.
interview alone, they already start the process of cross-examination and start to catch her out in previous lies. Jennifer is still a witness at this moment, and the exchange is void of any direct confrontation. Yet she is still put under a modest amount of pressure, and the holes in her story start to become ever more apparent.
Wow, she's still a victim,
Take
right?
that first interview that we had, which was, hours after what had transpired, put it aside. It's almost like we've never spoken before, okay? So we're starting afresh. We're starting from new. That way you're not going to say, I think I already told him that. Don't worry about what you've already told me.
Do you, Jennifer Penn, swear and declare
Again,
the
chat.
that you give
Hand on the fucking Bible, chat.
The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
That's crazy.
We're going to see if we've learned or if you've remembered anything else. And there's some questions with respect to that statement that I'm going to ask you about. Okay, but I'm going to let you start again, and let's move forward from any time in that day where you want to start. If it's the time you woke up or if it's the time that your first interaction, it's your choice.
Okay, I'm very nervous, and I
Why are
don't
you?
remember
Why are you nervous? Tell me about why you're nervous.
because I don't want to say the wrong things.
Because
that day was a lot,
you're right.
and I've been
Chat, I swear to God.
scared, and so bits and
I'm sorry, we gotta get through it. I know. Guys, I swear to God though, if you guys have ever went through something traumatic, you remember literally everything. Like you don't skip anything. Your story doesn't change. On God. Facts, right, chat? Facts. Like literally, if you ever went through something traumatic, you should remember everything, bro, from A to B. Like it's just no hesitation at all.
pieces are
At
here,
all.
and some pieces aren't here.
This
and
bitch is literally smiling.
I'm just
So, I want you to sit back in your chair, okay? Just sit back in your chair. Take a deep breath, okay? Close your eyes.
Why is she scared
Follow my
about?
mind. Just sit back in the chair for a second. Sit back, relax, as the best you can. Close your eyes.
Oh shit! Look at her hands.
And just breathe for a minute,
She's tweaking.
okay?
The most curious detail you've probably come to notice is this. It's known as a self-pacifying gesture. The person who does this is most often uncomfortable and sometimes fearful of what lies ahead. It's a coping mechanism to dissipate stress and afford self-assurance.
What I can remember is when I woke up, had some breakfast.
She practices on the piano, studies piano history, plays games on her phone, and speaks with her friends on Facebook during the morning hours.
Right.
Her mom leaves to visit her grandfather at around noon and returns at 3 p.m. to prepare dinner. Her father comes home at around 4:30 from work, and dinner is served 1 hour later. Her mother leaves for line dancing at 7, then returns at 9:30. Jennifer at this point is in bed talking with her friend on the phone, and her father is in the computer room. She then hears her mother loudly call out to her father.
What is she saying?
She's calling him by his name and to come down.
Okay, so give us verbatim. What do you hear her saying?
In Vietnamese, she's like, Hanoi, xuống đây.
She's clearly aware that she has to appear mournful over the subject matter, and sensibly draws out this emotion at the correct moments. Yet what's fascinating is how she's unable to maintain this emotion when inquired over the same elements. In this very moment, she appears completely grief-stricken, but when the investigator inquires further, this supposed grief rapidly dissipates. It's extremely difficult to convincingly act out an emotion while evaluating a question. It requires two completely different parts of the brain, which is why most people can only do one of these things at a time. This is exactly what you see in the next moment, and continuously throughout this interview.
And what does that translate to?
That's my father's name, Han. Come down here.
Does she say anything else associated with that?
I can't hear clearly because, like, I was on the phone and the TV was on, but that's what I heard.
Is she yelling? Or is it normal?
It's a loud, she's not yelling, but it's a loud tone.
Okay.
She then hangs up the phone with her friend once she hears the commotion.
As I'm hanging up the phone with him, I hear footsteps going up the stairs.
Okay.
But they're heavier footsteps than what is to be expected from my parents.
Stop stuttering.
Okay.
Jennifer hears unfamiliar voices, so she opens her door to investigate. She has spoken for 2 minutes up to this point without being interrupted, and once again manages to build up her emotion to correlate with a supposedly terrifying event. Yet as soon as the detective interjects with a question, we once again see this emotion dissipate.
I peered out, and there was a person in what would have been my brother's room.
And where's your brother's room located?
Just a little bit down the, I could see from my doorway to his doorway, just a little bit down the hall.
Okay.
The first intruder then robs Jennifer at gunpoint before taking her to the ground floor, where she then sees her parents sitting next to each other.
From where I was standing, my father was sitting on the right, and my mother was sitting on the left.
Sitting where?
On a couch, on our couch.
Sitting on the couch. Are they looking out towards you?
No, their backs are towards me.
Okay. And you're now on the ground level? Are you on the floor? Or on the sitting on the stairs?
I'm sitting on the floor. I'm sitting on the floor.
All right, where are your hands?
They had tied my hands,
so let's
as
go,
I said.
Let's go back up to the stairs. Remember we said...
Her emotional display in seeing her parents in distress gradually faded after each interjection, but you'll now see it completely cease altogether once she realizes that she made her first mistake.
Like she's actually...
Everything she had said up to this point correlated with her initial statement, but she had just forgot to mention that she was first tied up before being taken downstairs.
You're an idiot.
And only brought it up when reminded by the detective.
Take the other statement and whatever we said before.
No, I said it earlier.
She didn't say she was tied up earlier. She completely forgot to mention it and seems to be trying to convince the detective otherwise. It's a moment of slight panic, which becomes far more pronounced when you compare it to her supposed grief-stricken recollection 5 seconds earlier. The detective doesn't challenge this, as it can be used against her at a much later stage, and the main objective at this point is to collect as much conflicting information as possible.
Okay, then we must, let's get back to that area. I think you might have touched on it. We went back into the description. So where do you get your hands tied, and where does the string come from?
I'm not sure where the string comes from, but he had the string.
Okay.
And after I gave him my money, that's when he tied my hands.
She is then taken downstairs, where she sees her mother being interrogated by the second assailant over the whereabouts of the cash. According to her first statement, the second assailant never said a word the entire time.
He had pushed her back onto the couch, and she
Who pushed her?
Number 2.
Ah!
Back onto the couch.
4K.
And she
4K.
kept saying, "Where's my purse?
You're an
Where's my
idiot.
purse?" And the guy kept telling her to sit down,
Oh
and
my
I didn't want
God.
my mom to get hurt.
She was already sitting down, no?
How many times does she get up and get pushed back down?
I'd say she got up.
Has number 2 uttered a word at this point in time?
I can't remember hearing him.
Okay. So we're just correcting what you said earlier, because you said earlier that it was number 2 who was asking where the purse is, and now you've said now it's number 1 guy who would
I'm
initially...
sorry, it's just...
No. It's all a purpose.
Bro.
The purpose here is clarifying what you're saying. So number
I
1
just
is...
don't want to...
Number 1 is the one who's doing the talking.
Oh yeah, she know. Oh yeah, nah, yeah, she knows, chat. She knows she's fucked now.
3
She knows.
is focused on your dad's wallet. Okay.
Jennifer continues to make contradictions and is forced to correct herself multiple times after she notices the puzzled gaze from the detective. He inquires over the appearance of assailant number 2, who is wearing a hoodie according to the first statement.
Do you get a good look at number 2 now of what he's wearing?
All I could tell was he had a vest, and his face was like a long oval face.
He had a vest?
No, hoodie.
Okay.
Dark hoodie.
Bro!
Did
You
see
idiot!
or anything inside your mom and dad's room?
What?
I did not see anything, no.
Are you sure? Because when we spoke the last time, there was some mention of some other money that went missing.
I believe when they were looking for my father's wallet, they had opened the drawer. And there was, it was in an envelope.
What drawer would that have been in?
If you're at the doorway where I was standing on the left side,
Come on.
bedside table.
Whose side of the bed is it?
That's my mother's side of the bed.
Okay.
More than likely a total coincidence, yet she almost appears to be praying that she gave the correct response. Fortunately for her, she was correct on this occasion.
And approximately how much money?
I'm not sure how much she took out for our trip, but I can only estimate about a few $100s.
Few hundred, because at the time, the last time you told me, you were pretty adamant about $1,100. So
Bro.
I'm curious to know how you came up with that number.
What are you doing, bro? I can lie better than this. No cap.
I believe because when we were at the border, we stopped at the duty free. My mother was deciding whether to use her U.S. currency or
What?
her U.S. currency or her Canadian currency.
So it was at that time you remember hearing $1,100, and is that the inference you're saying? Is that because you're pretty solid, saying that it was $1,100 that went missing, that was taken, and that you saw it when we spoke, and who took it? Who took possession of the money?
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Bro.
The detective lets the contradiction slide once more. Jennifer is then brought to the moment where the intruders had just left and she is tied to the upstairs banister.
Let's come back to now. You're being picked
Come on, bro.
the banister and the upper.
Come on.
Don't apologize, okay?
Oh.
I'm going to try and ask you questions to try and clarify points, okay? If you don't remember, you don't remember. Okay, so there's no apologizing. The only reason you would apologize to me is if you've lied to me.
No.
Okay,
No,
so then in this case, then don't apologize to me. It's okay. Okay, I'm going to ask you questions to clarify points.
Okay.
You're now bound to this, to the railing. Can you show me? Can you stand up and turn around and tell me? Just show on the camera.
She's getting
how your
pressed.
hands are bound.
She's getting pressed.
And how you are against the railing.
Bro.
You don't have to sit down. I just need to see how you were.
Just tell you.
The only reason that I'm trying to, I need to do this is that I'm also going to ask you is that so take this back take it out of a traumatizing event, which it is, and put yourself into a more clinical position, because I want to see how you could physically get your phone out of your waistband. We're obviously going to need to know that. It's very important. So traumatize away. Now put yourself into just a state of, I need to mechanically show how I can get access to my phone.
Yeah,
Okay?
nah.
Because that's obviously very relevant. We know you made the. But questions are going to obviously raise is that if my hands are bound and I'm against the railing, how do I talk to a 911 operator? Okay? So clinically, this is now a clinical demonstration. Just stand up, focus in on how you did it.
Oh yeah,
I want you
nah.
to stick that in your waistband as an example. Okay, so just take your sweater off, because this will be a very smooth, very quick thing. It's a one-time demonstration. I'm not going to ask you to repeat it.
The two critical parts of this demonstration are where Jennifer states she was tied, and the movement of her arms as she takes her phone out of her pocket. The investigator is hoping the mechanics of the two components would be illogical and contradict each other.
They tied my upper arm
Yes?
around the banister,
Yes?
but my hands were bound together.
So your hands bound together, and this is the arm.
Who ties somebody? Wait. Hold on. Who the fuck ties somebody? Like, bro, that actually just pissed me off. All right, bro. Like,
Banister?
that's bad.
Okay, so now how can you get to the phone?
I'm sorry,
And how
bro.
do you make the phone call?
Whether it be a stroke of luck or that Jennifer had prepared for this moment, this actually made sense. Had her arms gone left or the point of restraint been below the elbow, none of this would have been possible. It's perhaps the single moment where Jennifer's statement was somewhat beneficial to her defense.
That's
we know
fucked
Jennifer was tied up when police
bro.
arrived, but the assumption was that she had her phone in her hands the entire time and wouldn't have had to retrieve it from
I gotta
her
pee so
waistband.
bad.
She can now argue that this portion of her testimony is genuine.
911. And do you talk down like that?
Yes, I'm yelling at the phone like this.
And how can you hear?
I turned the volume on max.
Yes? So that's exactly the way that you're talking to her
Bruh.
against the railing. Okay, that's good enough. Sit down.
She just
Jennifer
moaned?
is
What the
then brought
fuck?
back to the moment just before she heard the gunshots.
At this point, I started hearing my parents get up. And they're moving. And my mom's yelling, "Where's my daughter? I want my daughter. Where's my daughter?" And I'm yelling, "Mom, I'm here."
Here. Jennifer, take a Kleenex and just take a minute.
You'll notice that she doesn't wipe her eyes or blow her nose, just buries her face in the tissue, which the detective later testified remained completely dry.
Oh yeah. Oh my god. This is a W detective, bro. She's getting fucking, it's 4-0 feds right now, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You can't, like, why fake cry then? I don't get it. Like, you're dumb.
Okay. So we're now down in the basement. They're down in the, your parents are down in the basement.
I heard pop. And then my mom, I
Dude.
heard her squeal.
No
Multiple
way.
pops occur thereafter before she hears the intruders leave through the front door.
Once the door closed, I heard my father. He ran up the stairs and all I could hear was moaning. Yeah. Once I heard him starting to move, that's when I pulled out the phone and I was trying to call 911.
Huh?
This is untrue. She only realized her father was alive midway through the 911 call. And in that exact moment, you can actually hear genuine fear in her voice compared to her fabricated panic the moment before.
Some people broke into our house. Okay, this shows all his money. Okay, ma'am, yelling downstairs. Okay, ma'am, where are you? What? Avenue Road. Yeah. You spell the name for me, please?
Bro. Nah, that's sad. I'm not laughing at this part. Fuck that. R.I.P. to Han right now and the mom. Seriously, R.I.P. in the chat. This part's not funny. Jennifer, it's funny how much of a bullshitter you are. Like, you're bad at lying. Like, you're genuinely bad at lying. And it's not, and like...
The final part of
It's
this
just
statement
sad,
is
like-
collecting information to set up the main strategy for Jennifer's interrogation that will take place 10 days later. They go through Jennifer's past and gather intel to lay the foundation for what's known as the how and why solution,
Okay.
which will be explained in further detail at a later stage.
What I want to do now is I want to go into your past, okay? And start talking about things that have been going on with you
The detective now morphs into a therapist.
Hey, don't
what's
spoil it, bro.
fascinating
Don't
is how
spoil it.
Jennifer doesn't once question the new line of inquisition.
Don't spoil
Many
it, bro.
argue that it was the first time Jennifer was even asked about such matters, giving reason for her willingness to open up. This may have been the first time in her life she was able to process her frustrations and vent to someone who appeared to care. The first topic is her parents, and the expectations and pressures she was under to succeed, which led to her faking her grades and then her college degree as to not be a disappointment.
How did you feel about that? How did you feel about having to lie to your parents?
I felt guilty, but every time I tried to bring it up, there was just so much expectation.
For what?
Did you have any resentment towards them for this?
I chose what I chose, but in the end I chose my family.
She just referred to the ultimatum she
Okay.
was given by her father.
Okay.
The choice to live at home and go back to school, or be completely cut off by her parents and live with her boyfriend.
Right.
Information gathering on Jennifer's past goes on for roughly 2 hours and 20 minutes. The detective then ends the exchange by putting her under some pressure. It's not a direct confrontation, but it's by far the most uncomfortable position she's been in up to this
100%.
point. The detective subtly switches back to the home invasion and how the intruders were able to gain access without breaking in.
Like you didn't hear a doorbell, you didn't hear a door knock, you didn't hear a door kicked in, you didn't.
I said I was watching
No,
TV on the phone.
but-
I don't know how.
Yeah, I know. We went over that back and forth. We don't know how.
So why?
So somehow they got into your house by getting through your mom down on the lower level, right? Because she's the only one who's down
She
there.
was the only one down there.
So it's very confusing. Generally, a random
Hey man,
events-
your streams help me a lot and you should shut out negative energy. Do WTF you want and be gay, happy, the normal you. I know I don't know your...
Okay, I'm not actually gay, by the way, bro, but I appreciate that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, nah. Someone just said I know you struggle with it. Again, bro, I'm not actually gay. I appreciate you. I had to meet the donos and shit, but thanks, bro.
are not, in most cases, random. There's a rhyme or reason why they've come to your house. But from what you've told me inside the house, the only thing that you hear them saying to you is they're looking for money. They're not looking for a specific quantity of money?
No.
So you're telling
You
me
lied,
that
bro.
you had no involvement in what happened. Meaning not saying how the outcome came, but you had no involvement in any type of illegal activity that would have drawn you. Or
You're
the
lying.
attention
You're
of
lying.
Bad
She's
people
lying, man. She's lying.
looking for large sums of money. You're not involved in this any which way.
Chat, you guys
Because
are fucking funny as
The
fuck.
question obviously stands, Jennifer, is you're upstairs and they're downstairs. Right? So it's a natural concern when, why would they leave you alone?
Chat, you guys can't see the timer, but she's been in this room for 3 hours, it says. 3 fucking hours.
You can't answer that question?
The only thing I can say is he said I cooperated.
The,
But I asked him to take me.
the number
with
one
my
guy?
mom.
The number one guy said you cooperated. Okay. Who's to say this whole thing isn't a lie? That what you're telling me is a lie? Because if you are lying, it's the most cold-blooded thing that I've ever faced in my life.
I just got chills. Uh-oh, chat. Oh, shit. Now she's scared. I don't blame you. You're fucked.
There is nothing that you've said to me today is a lie. Now, back to another very difficult question. But if I don't ask it, I'm going to be. It's an obvious one. The resentment that you may have had towards your parents for the interference in your relationship and your life, and essentially locking you down in your house.
At the end of the day, I love my parents and I chose to be with them.
Bro.
And if I wanted to, I could have just left, but I didn't. I wanted to stay with them and take care of them.
So this wasn't some evil plot that you thought up to.
Oh my God, no.
Bro. The way
No interaction, no belief, no, you didn't have anything to do with this thing at all, whatsoever. You don't engage in illegal activity?
No.
Because you know that it'll be very easily, it will be a very easy thing to discredit you on, right? We're in the process of trying to add credibility to what you tell us, and that's through the process of asking people and doing whatever. Through that same process, it will be very easy to find the flaws in what you've said, which again then turns the focus back to you. Okay? It's a natural progress. It's a natural thing that investigators do. We eliminate people, or we draw our attention to them. It's a natural thing. It's not brain surgery. Okay?
The detective leaves the room for 20 minutes to allow Jennifer to stew in her own thoughts before they end the statement. He comes back to add one last bit of psychological pressure that he carefully disguises as reassurance. Jennifer will leave
bro. This is
terrified,
all so
but still
fucked,
believe
bro.
the police are on her side.
Okay, we're done, essentially. How are you feeling?
Sorry, you really scared me.
Did I? What did I scare you about? Sit down and take a load off. Tell me how you're feeling and how I scared you. I don't want you walking away from here thinking I'm evil. I want you to walking around from here thinking that this guy is helping investigate my mom's murder, and he's going to turn over every stone possible to make sure that we catch the people who do that. That's what I want you feeling. So I don't want you walking away from here thinking that I scared you, or I'm a bad man. Sometimes we have to ask very, very difficult questions, but it's my job. Okay? You're our only link.
Okay.
Until your dad is back and being able to be spoken to, right now you're our only link to this case.
Her father had bullet fragments lodged in his face that doctors couldn't remove, and a shattered neck bone. At the time of this interview, the consensus was that if he did regain consciousness, he would be useless as a witness due to irreversible brain damage.
Oh.
So we may rely on you heavily.
Fuck you, Jennifer. Seriously, fuck you.
Okay? So don't be afraid. If you've told the truth, the last thing you should be afraid of is anything. If you've told the truth and you've been truthful through this whole process, then you're helping. You're doing your part. Okay? And don't be afraid of me.
I'm just afraid because, you know, like, I know everything is just all pointing negatively right now, and I don't understand why. I feel that, like, the way you're speaking to me, it's kind of like, I know you said that you had to say those things, but it's here, and I've already said it to the special victims yesterday, but there's, like, ideas in my head.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid to say it out loud. But
ideas about speculation of what happened, how it happened. Unfortunately, at times some of us have to point the finger, seem like we're pointing the finger, and it really is just to provoke you to see what you're going to do, how you're going to respond. Okay? So it's only a question, and it's been answered, and if you've been truthful, okay, you have nothing to fear. Absolutely nothing. Okay?
Police kept Jennifer under close observation from this point forward.
Bro.
A surveillance detail was assigned to track her every movement, and she was even monitored at her mother's funeral 3 days later. According to reports, she was emotionless the majority of the time, only showing what appeared to be feigned grief at certain moments. She never shed a single tear, and kept her eyes to the floor or completely shut for the entirety of the service. Jennifer's father had in fact awoken from his induced coma the day prior, and miraculously seemed to remember everything from the night of the incident. He would give an official statement in secret on November 16th, and multiple parts of his story contradicted what Jennifer had told police. The most significant detail was that she was never tied up, but instead walking around freely and talking with the intruders as if they were friends. He actually spoke with Jennifer over the phone, but was informed by investigators to act amnesic and not to confront her, only to ask her if she thought her ex-boyfriend was behind it. She stated that she was almost certain he wasn't. The only issue with Han's statement was that he had suffered minor brain damage from the gunshot, which could be used by a defense team to refute his testimony in court, or even get it thrown out altogether. Furthermore, it was essentially his word against Jennifer's, and their turbulent relationship would also work greatly in the defense's favor. York Regional Police knew they needed a confession for the best possible chance at securing a conviction, so they assigned their most experienced investigator to conduct Jennifer's interrogation. She was called back into the Markham Police Station on the 22nd of November at 2:30 p.m., a week and a half after the incident took place.
So just for the record, it is the 22nd of November 2010. We're at the 5 District Station in the town of Markham. My computer right now says 2:39 in the afternoon. Okay. Just for the record, my name is Detective William Gates. You can just call me Bill here today. And what do you like to be called?
Jen.
Jen? Yep. What do you prefer?
Jesus Christ, bro.
Either. Okay. So Jen, you're aware that the audio tape and everything's on. It's the same as last time. Okay. You've been here on 2 other occasions, I understand. On the 9th of November, and I believe again on the 11th of November. Is that correct? Okay. And do you know why we're here today? Yeah, regarding what?
What happened at my home?
Okay. And as a result of that home invasion, your father and Pam was actually shot, and your mother, Vic Pan, was actually killed. Is that correct? Yeah, you'll have to speak up a little bit just so I can hear you.
Sorry, yes.
Okay.
What's unique about this interrogator is how he immediately adopts a no-nonsense approach, yet manages to build rapport and remain sympathetic at the same time. You'll see that he has far less patience compared to the previous investigator.
I see that. He got straight to the fucking point.
It's a hard thing to explain, but easily observed, as you'll soon find out.
So that's what we're going to discuss here today.
Jennifer this time around has read her rights to silence rather than her rights as a witness. If she knew anything about the law in Canada, she would be wise to the fact that she is now a suspect.
Right.
Fortunately for the investigator, she remains completely naive to the situation
throughout
the opening phase of the interrogation.
She doesn't know that she's being charged with herself. Oh, shit.
Interrogation, making her far more susceptible to the strategy he is about to employ.
Okay, just hold on a second. Okay, we're having technical difficulties here. Okay, so that's why they interrupted me. What we're going to do is, if you don't mind holding tight there, I'm just going to move my equipment to the other room. Okay, and then I'll come over and we'll move over there, next door, okay?
I'm just not comfortable being on my own.
Okay, I'm going to be right here, though. Okay?
With respect to interrogations, it's common knowledge that the psychological manipulation begins before a single word is spoken. The physical layout of the room is designed to accelerate the sense of discomfort and isolation, and it's fascinating to observe how each interrogator has their own unique methods of setting the tone.
Wow.
Knowing how this interrogation plays out allows us to realize this detective's procedure. The considerable distance between him and the suspect will keep her relaxed enough to be influenced by phase 1. But this same distance will intensify the pressure once he eventually closes it during phase 2. You'll notice this detective is slow with his first strategy, but swift with the second. He takes his time in building trust and establishing rapport. Yet once this initial connection is
this dude's a fucking
genius. Aggression will be
That's
abrupt
crazy.
And from that point forward. Jennifer takes a seat in the room 15 minutes since she was first informed of her rights. It's important to note that she is still free to leave at any time at this point. She is unknowingly a suspect, but not under arrest.
That's crazy as fuck.
So just for the record, this room is being videotaped and audio taped, just like the other one, okay? And I'm just going to grab my chair from across the way, okay? Okay.
The detective goes through Jennifer's history of teaching piano and her earlier years of high-level figure skating, which was cut short due to injury.
If you didn't get injured, would you still be doing it? Yeah. That's nice. And did you...
See, he's gaining trust.
Did you do like competition skating or...
Wow.
It wasn't at the top of the pack, but it was the middle average.
Yeah, sounds good. But you did actually enjoy it. It was more than just going for...
Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta take one phone call and take a piss. Literally be like 20 seconds. Chat, you guys think she's gonna fold right here or what? Let me call this motherfucker. All right, chat, I'm back. How to get at some snacks too. You know, this is actually really interesting and shit. Why are you guys saying pre-end? We're literally gonna finish this. So shut up, bro. Oh, come on, hurt.
Which one?
No, black one. Bro, chat, I swear to God, there's these Rice Krispie bars, and they're Lucky Charms. Have you guys ever had this shit? It's so fucking good. I can eat 100 of these. I'm not even lying. So good. Oh my God. Oh. Right.
Competition you enjoy?
I pet fight.
Okay. All right. Do you have any students right now? Or? Okay. And why not?
The students I was teaching. Went to high school.
Oh, okay. Yeah, too big for Santa. Yeah, I took it in grade school too, but I think I went to grade 7 in it, I think. Like when I was in grade 7, I stopped taking it. But,
You're chunky, suck my dick.
I still remember Swans on the Lake. How to play that, that's about it.
The detective then goes through Jennifer's work history as a server before touching on her future plans in education. Jennifer mentions that she plans to go by her parents' wishes and pursue a career in healthcare, at which point the primary strategy is initiated, the how and why solution. The detective gradually begins to shift the blame away from the suspect and onto another set of circumstances that prompted the suspect to commit the crime. He starts developing a theme that will afford her a psychological justification in doing it, and this theme will be further established as the interrogation progresses. It starts off subtle so that she remains oblivious to the agenda.
Now, if you could pick any job yourself, I'm not talking about anybody else, but if you could pick for yourself, what would it be?
I'm going to be a piano teacher when I come home. But in the daytime, I'd like to have a simple, maybe like a lab technician job. Work 8 hours.
She has no idea that she's a suspect, bro. No idea.
This is an answer the detective was hoping for. Jennifer's preferred career choice is at odds with what her parents wanted, so he now builds on the concept of the overly controlled...
What?
What they mean, the snaggy hose effect?
What
they mean?
What they parent and the unfair limitations.
So look, chat, basically what they're saying is...
of the overly controlling parent and the unfair limitations it causes the child. He then links this concept with the subject of Jennifer's boyfriend and how she was kept from seeing him.
Now, eventually you were discussing Daniel. What's happened with that relationship?
I hid it from my parents at first. They didn't agree with me having a boyfriend.
Okay. And
once they found out, they didn't like the fact that he was of mixed race.
Okay.
And they told me to talk to him.
Okay. And how did that make you feel?
He was the person who filled an empty void.
Dog, your boyfriend was like a 23-year-old drug dealer when you were 16, bro. You got taken advantage of. That's why she's fucked up. The boyfriend probably told her, if you leave me, I'm going to kill you and your family. To be honest with you, I actually think that. So, I'm not defending her, by the way. Jennifer, it's still Jennifer K. Everyone spam Jennifer K in the chat. But you know what I'm saying? She probably, you know what I mean?
When you broke up?
That's why she's fucked up, though.
When they first told me to stop seeing him, stop talking to him, I felt like a part of me was missing. I wanted to go.
Bro.
How did they find out?
One day when my mother came to pick me up, she saw me in the drop down.
Okay. Dropped you off.
At Pacific Mall, and my mother was coming to pick me up.
The Pacific Mall.
And somehow they saw each other, I guess?
Oh, my mother saw me hugging me.
Okay, that gave it away. What happened next?
I tried to bring him home.
Are you fucking stupid?
Bring him home, but I beat him. When I brought him home,
Oh.
they didn't. They automatically
didn't like it.
For some reason, chat. You know, middle-aged 20s when she's like, I don't know how old, but bad you're a drug dealer. Like, bro, you sell meth.
So you were told to stop seeing.
Yo! Brack with the 20 gift. I appreciate you, buddy. Put the doubles in the fucking chat, bro. Yeah. Man, put doubles in the fucking chat. Snaggy.
Yeah.
So what happened?
First, I thought it was
Huh?
I
Bro.
felt really empty, depression, and I started talking to him again.
Jennifer then goes on to explain in further detail how she carried on the relationship in secret and how it became more and more of a struggle hiding it from her parents.
Now, how has Daniel taken it when your parents said that you couldn't see him anymore? How did he take it?
Mad.
He was hurt.
Obviously. He probably put a gun to your head.
How did you feel?
Hurt.
She then goes on to explain that she was living with Daniel at his parents' house for 2 years, while her own parents thought she was studying at a university.
Okay, that fucked up.
His parents were, I guess, more liberal than your parents.
His parents gave us things.
Yeah. Okay. And they recognized that you loved each other.
Jennifer recounts how she bought a fake diploma for $500 to show her parents, and the many other avenues she went down to...
There's no way!
She eventually gets to the day she was found out.
How did you end
Yo, Brack with another 20, man. That was a fucking chat for Bracklum. Thank you so much, honey bun.
Who I said I was staying with in the middle of the night. And she dodged me and forgot what day it was, and so she was like, isn't she home? And she wasn't home.
She messed up.
I don't blame her, but...
No.
Jennifer then goes on to explain the ultimatum she was given and the restrictive measures that were put in place so that she wouldn't be able to see her boyfriend.
So how has that felt, being under those guidelines for the last 18 months?
It was okay, like, it wasn't the best feeling in the world, because, you know, I'm just like trapped.
Okay.
But,
Bro.
what I chose to be with my family.
And so you made a choice between what?
Living out on my own with Daniel and staying home with my parents.
Did you feel you really had a choice or not?
There was no choice because family was concerned.
Okay.
And where do you get that from? Where do you get that belief? The family's number one?
Yes.
Ms. Gibbs in the
The
chat.
detective then brings up Jennifer's earlier assertion of being depressed.
Mitch Kid, buddy, what's up? Sorry, Mitch Kid. I genuinely fuck with you, Mitch Kid, by the way. I know you troll a lot, bro, but I actually fuck with you. I really do. You coming to roll loud, buddy? Mizgiv, you're a part of the family, man.
And then affiliates it with the
You gotta get
restrictive
ticket?
measures she was living under.
What was the worst the depression got?
We have to fuck. Whoa, wait.
And when did that
What?
Restrictive measures she was living under.
What was the worst the depression got?
Oh, okay, I thought, okay.
Okay. And when did that happen? Where did you
No, like where?
On my wrist, and once people started noticing, I'd hide it other places. But
Damn.
Never twice the same spot.
So how many cuts do you have on you?
Now, no.
Done? They've healed? And did you want to kill yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
Jennifer asserts that she tried to kill herself when she was 19 by overdosing on sleeping tablets. She also states that her self-harm was a distractor from the pain and frustrations she was going through.
Did you ever feel that they expected too much of you? How so?
Comparison to other people.
Okay. So who would they compare you to?
Like classmates, make cousins.
Okay. And so some of them have been successful recently? Okay. And what did they say to you?
Wish you could have been that person.
Okay, so that's pretty hard, right? Hard to take for you?
That doesn't mean you go out and kill them, bro.
Nothing.
Did you ever feel like, I know you're smart and they believe you're very smart, but did you ever feel you weren't as smart as what they thought that you were?
Yeah.
Okay, I get that feeling, that it's pretty tough to live up to their expectations. Okay, like your dad ultimately would like to see you be like a doctor. Those were pretty high standards for anybody. Not everybody can be a doctor. Okay, but they may have acted like you could have done it no problem. Their expectations were so high that few people would be able to reach that expectation. I'm not just talking about you, I'm talking about anybody. And it started at a young age.
The detective further explores the stresses of living with overly strict parents, and Jennifer explains in further details the way she would cope, which for the most part was lying about her grades and living a double life with her boyfriend.
How did it feel having to lie to them all those years?
Yeah. Really hard. Like I wanted to tell them, but just they always looked down and disappointed me.
Okay. I'm sure there were days when you actually planned that this is the day I'm going to tell them, and then you just couldn't spit it out.
The opening strategy of the how and why solution has now been executed. A connection has been attained, and the desired narrative established. The next phase of the interrogation is about to commence.
Here we go,
It is
guys.
first set up by a two-step strategy. Step 1 is to induce fatigue. Step 2 is to induce fear.
Oh, it's gonna get crazy right now.
When's the last time you spoke to your dad?
This morning, just to see if my brother had made it into school.
And
Imagine trying to kill your dad and he lives, bro, and then he exposes, like, bro, you.
And what have you and your father discussed about this case?
He just asked me if Danny was behind it.
Okay.
And I told him I don't know 100%, but I don't think he did.
Okay. Why would he ask that?
Because he believes that we still talk and that he would go to any length to be with me.
Okay. And what do you think about that?
I know that he's moved on, so I don't think he would go to these lengths to be with me when he's already moved on.
The
Bruh.
detective has Jennifer go through the entire incident once more, but unlike the first investigator, offers no reassurance nor consolation. Jennifer starts fake crying again, yet this time is given no tissues to wipe away her non-existent tears.
Now, do you think there's any reason why they tied you up and didn't tie your parents up?
She has nothing to say.
Does that seem odd to you? Why does it seem odd?
Because I was away up here separated from him most of the time.
What?
And does it make sense that they would leave a witness behind? If they were going to kill somebody? Does that make sense?
Yes,
Just thinking about it. Would it make sense for somebody that was going to kill somebody to leave a witness behind that could describe them? Does that make common sense for killers?
She's getting pressed.
What do you think?
Mm-hmm.
You think that was a mistake they made then?
I don't know. They kept saying that they're running out of time.
It takes a second to
That takes
fucking.
a long time to kill someone.
I know.
It takes 1 second. About a gun, guess what, Shinagi? She said it took, like, bro, this girl's dumb as shit.
Dramatics intensify as the discussion of the home invasion continues. She's trying to give off the nonverbal cue that she wants to move past the incident. The detective doesn't respond, but continues to go over the different stages of the night in more detail. He jumps from the beginning to the end to the middle, back to the end, and then back to the beginning again. None of this is for the purpose of information gathering. He He is inducing mental fatigue as to diminish Jennifer's critical thinking. This is often done before a direct confrontation, as it can diminish the suspect's ability to consider the long-term consequences of a decision. Jennifer will get stressed and tired.
Chat, you guys
not
are so
because she is
fucking weird, bro.
traumatized by the event being recited, but because it's exhausting keeping up such an act when it's not genuine, and this performance eventually starts to dwindle and becomes gradually less convincing.
How did the conversation end with Dad?
I heard my mother calling for my father.
And then what?
I have to go through this again.
Bro.
Okay. When you went to bed, was your mom home yet?
She'd just gotten home and I went down. I told her I'd be right back. And I went down, I said hi to her, and I went back up to my room.
Okay. Were you injured at all during the whole process?
Not really.
Okay. Not really anything?
Confrontation setup will now commence. The detective employs what is known as utility technique. He will tell Jennifer that he has an abundant
Tell by the language they use, how they answer the questions, their body language, how they treat the question, that something's wrong here. Okay, this doesn't make sense.
The detective then gives Jennifer an 8-minute narrative on police tactics and forensic technology, some of which is embellished, but for the most part true. He then asserts that police are able to use infrared satellite imagery to see the occupants inside a household. This is entirely false.
And basically, if people are moving around in a house, it's like an x-ray, okay? And basically we're able to tell, you know, are those movements, are those actions, that number of people consistent with the story that we've been told? Are the people in the positions that the witnesses are telling us they were in? Or are they different? Okay? And if they're different, why are they different? But what our question becomes, right?
Asserts that still needs to feel the detective is on her side.
Now, I can tell you that nothing surprises me in this job, okay? I am well aware that anybody on this earth is capable of making a mistake, okay? I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're a priest. I don't care if they're a school teacher. I don't care what the situation is. Given a certain set of circumstances, everyone has the capability, Jennifer, of making mistakes, doing the wrong thing, okay? The key, though, when I talk to people is when they made a mistake, okay, that's one thing, right? The key is to not keep making the same mistake. And to get that information out.
Admit it already, bitch. You got caught. Admit it.
Okay? You understand what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, from this case, and I can tell you I've spent
She knows she's fucked,
literally
Chad.
a week on this case, going over information after information, accessing all the sources, speaking to every other expert on the case. And at this point, Jennifer, I know that you've not been truthful with the police, okay? You've not told us everything that you know, purposely.
Okay.
You've spent
He got closer,
a
chat.
considerable amount of time in the last 7 years telling half-truths. And I can understand why, okay? You've had a tough life. What's happened to you, to me, equates to abuse. And all the stress.
What if he just pulled out his dick and said, "You're fucked unless you suck my dick"?
Okay? So you're in another situation here where you're under another tremendous amount of stress. And it doesn't feel good inside, does it? It breaks down the person that you are. Because at the end of the day, you're a good person. I know that. But
She's not 15. She's 24.
in this case, though, you've made mistakes. Okay? And you're involved in this. I know that.
She's
Okay?
24.
No question about it. The only question right now is, Are you going to keep making mistakes? Are you going to go on the route that you've gone on over the years and try to pretend that things happen that never happened? Okay, are you going to not face reality here? We know that you're involved. We've done our homework, okay? We have to resolve that now here today. I need to know from you what really happened. And I know why this has happened. You have spent your whole life trying to live up to expectations that you can't meet, okay? And that stress the hell out of you. You're a 24-year-old woman being treated like a 15-year-old. Okay?
Chat, see? Suck my dick, chat. She's 24. I'm just saying, wouldn't it be funny if you just whipped it out? He's like, now I'm going to tell you right now. You can either suck this and get off free, or you don't suck it and you go to prison. That'd be funny as fuck.
Well, you've never done anything that terrible in your life, but you're being treated like you have. You're not being treated like the adult that you are. Yes, you made some mistakes. Big deal. You're not the first person that has gone out and not told their parents that they're dating a guy, because in your culture they don't accept it. I understand that. I've talked to people in here that have kept that secret for their whole life from their parents. Okay, so that's not abnormal, but that puts a lot of stress on you, right? That's not easy for you, is it? No.
Just not talking now.
Now, what we need to get down to here...
Chat, is she fucked? Yes or no? Be honest. Is she fucked, chat? Yes or no? Be honest.
You need to tell me what went on. Because you know who was in that house that night. You do, Jen. There's no question about that, okay?
While remaining empathetic and understanding, the detective still needs to keep Jennifer's confidence low. He watches for denials and stops them immediately. Letting the suspect deny her guilt will only increase confidence and morale. This needs to be stripped away as much as possible, as early as possible.
There's no question about it, okay?
The focus is kept from the magnitude of the crime and concentrated on the justifications of why someone would commit it.
Yes, their intentions might have been good, but they're not realistic. They're not, Dan, were they? Jen? Their expectations weren't realistic, were they? You couldn't live up to them, could you? You tried to. Right? Am I right? And finally you had to bite back, right? You had no other choice. You felt like you had no other options. You thought of everything else, including killing yourself. This is Canada. We're in the 21st century here. You cannot take everything out of a person. You can have expectations for your kids, but you can't expect them to do everything the way you want. It doesn't feel good to have secrets, does it? No. You have to let me know.
GG's in the fucking chat, man.
Okay? Okay. But you were involved. Right? That's the part we need. Okay? We need to hear that from you because we know you were.
The detective appears to be getting nowhere, so he now lowers the gauge of admission. A confession to a lesser offense is far easier to attain, but once it is attained, can be... be used to build on the more damnatory elements of the case. You'll also notice...
I'm not ending! Shut up, bro!
Guilt, yet don't directly accuse Jennifer of murder.
It's not over yet, dumbass!
That night that this was going to happen. I'm going to make that easy on you. That's a true statement, right? You knew before that night...
We gotta watch her get fucking imprisoned.
Right? Jen? It's not worth it anymore. It's hurting you.
She seems to be on the cusp of giving some form of admission, yet wants reassurance as to what it means for her own sake. She asks this question 9 times throughout this interrogation. It's one of the few things investigators can't actually lie about, as it's been used countless times in the past to get a case thrown out under misdirection. They can avoid the question, yet they can't afford any false promises with respect to sentencing.
I need to know the details. I can't even say. But I can tell you one thing is that we already know, so you can't change that. I know you did. But it got too far ahead of you, right? You didn't see...
She's fucked, Chad. Here we go.
Did you? But once they started, once they came in, you couldn't stop it, could you? Could you? Jen? Hmm? I know. Why didn't they stop for you? Hmm?
I don't know who they were.
Cat.
But you were part of the planning, right? You have to tell me that part, and then we're going to work through it together. You know what I'm saying? You didn't want this, you wanted to stop it. You have to prove that to me now. Because at the end of the day, we have to stop this from happening to someone else. Right?
What happened to me?
Jen, we're going to have to deal with it one step at a time, okay?
You sick fucking bitch.
I need to know what you did. And then you and I are going to work through this together. Because the most important part of this whole thing is that we do the right thing for your mom. Right?
Bro, I'm streaming.
I am her voice right now. I'm working for your mom. That's my job. And I have to get to the bottom of this for your mom.
Appealing to compassion isn't necessarily uncommon when the crime is first-degree murder, yet it can send a mixed message when a justification for the crime was a focus point early on. The detective takes his chance with it, which at first appears to work. Jennifer initially responds in a poignant manner, but you'll soon come to notice that her empathy, alongside her concern, is solely focused on herself.
But we got to start.
What happened to me?
Well, I don't know at this point. Okay, because I don't know what you're going to tell me other than that.
Chat, I'm not going to end. I want to play a game after this, but if you guys are going to be weird, then stop being weird, bro. Obviously, something happened. I'm figuring it out on stream. I'm staying on stream. But alright, fuck you guys, bro.
Your own life.
Pre-shut the fuck up, chat. Can we get the pre-shut the fuck up chat? Spam in the chat. Free not gonna lie, chat. Alright, I'm gonna do it. Alright, not gonna lie, chat.
Look at all the people around you. Does anyone else have a curfew for 9 o'clock at 24 years of age? You had no choice here, Jen. I know that.
Free not gonna lie. That's funny as fuck.
And anybody else in your situation would have done the exact same thing.
Bro, no, they would not done the same thing.
The only thing different is I would say that they'd have done it a lot earlier. They would have looked for a way out. When did you first start planning this? When was the final straw? What was the final straw? So that's what this is all about. You want to be a good person here?
Jennifer knows exactly what questions to answer and what ones to ignore. Anytime a question is non-incriminating, she gives a response. Yet when they are incriminating, she remains silent. She is no doubt feeling the pressure, but still very aware of the situation and the potential ramifications of her words.
Okay. And you know when a good person makes a mistake, they have to face that mistake, right?
What's gonna happen to her? Come on, just get in trouble, bitch. You already folded, bitch.
What do you think should happen? I don't know. You're going to prove to people that you know what the right thing to do is. That's what is going to happen. That's what your mom wants right now. She's watching us here. She's wondering, is Jen going to make the right decision here? Is Jen, after all of this, going to come out on top doing the right thing? I'm here for you, Jen. I'm here for your mom.
This is so tough.
Well, you have to tell. It's one of those situations.
You guys are so weird.
That what you did, okay? But you have to be able to explain to me what happened, okay? I can't tell you what's exactly going to happen to you. You just have to be brave here. You
Damn,
have
bro,
to be
she's
brave.
fucked.
"3 hours, 20 minutes, and 26 seconds. The exact amount of time it took for Jennifer to display genuine emotion. The investigator would later testify.
There we
this was
go.
The first moment the suspect was.
There we
He
go.
allows her to fix
There we go.
brought this on, and remains completely silent for just under 2 minutes.
Sorry, could you?
This is fucked. Yeah, Chaz raps.
They were supposed to take you. What? Okay.
Oh yeah, she's on Suey.
So they were supposed to take the whole family out?
No, just me.
What went wrong?
The detective now has one foot in the door. It's not an outright confession, but Jennifer has now admitted to planning the home invasion all along. And although she asserts that she was the intended target, while her parents were meant to be spared, the information she...
Alright, not gonna lie, chat. Gaming is dead as fuck. Not gonna lie, chat. The internet's gonna get fixed tomorrow, though.
The detective now presses for more information on the amended storyline. It's essentially step 1 of day 1 all over again, but from a more powerful position. He knows she is still lying, and now locks her into as many lies as possible within the new narrative.
Why did it change?
Man, shut the fuck up.
How come it was supposed to be you? Why not? Okay, you made mistakes, but nothing that couldn't be corrected. Why was it supposed to be you?
Everyone could be free from me.
Why did it happen this way then?
I don't know. Everyone could be free from me.
Bro, you fucked up, bro. You fucked up.
Okay, but why did it have to happen this way?
Because when I tried suicide, I did.
What did you want done? How?
Crazy, bro.
Okay. So who did you get to do this then?
J-Money, you're weird, bro.
Okay. And what's his number?
I don't memorize it.
She skirts around the questions surrounding her accomplices and gives multiple fake names. She stated that she got the number of the supposed hitman from an acquaintance named Rick, and that she took everything from there over the phone.
Bro.
It becomes apparent she doesn't want to give up, or even mention her boyfriend, so for the time being, the detective allows her to recount her amended narrative.
I can't lie, though. W girlfriend, though. Hey.
Instructed the hitman over the
She
phone.
low-key holding it down, though, chat.
I told him that I wanted to be killed.
And did he think that was something crazy?
Are you sure that's what you want? And I said yes.
Because I don't think many people get that request. Do you?
Mute my stream. All right, I unmuted it, but go downstairs, bro, please. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. All right, not gonna lie, chat. I'm just kidding. There's some shit going on, but I can't. It's not my.
Over it.
You can't say that. It's not what you want. You already did it, bitch.
Okay. So what did you ask him to do then?
Come take me out and then leave.
Okay. Why did they do it when you were, when your parents were there then?
Never alone. In the nighttime.
Okay. So that meeting you had with Rick, you told him what you wanted?
No. I just said that I wanted, if he knew anybody who could take care of something that I needed, just that I wanted to be killed.
And he said what?
Here's the number.
Did he have the number with him that day?
Yes.
Okay. What did he say he would do?
He just like, let me take care of it. Let me do me.
So your specific request to him was what?
Come in and make sure you kill me.
So he does come into the house, and you're the obvious only young girl there, right? Okay. When he came to your room,
Yeah.
what discussions did you have with the guy that came to your room? The real discussions you had, not what you told us.
Where was the money? And I showed him where the money was.
Okay.
Dog, she literally got caught,
He
bro.
said, I'm here to do what you asked.
He never said anything like that.
What did he say?
Just like hands behind your back.
Did he discuss ways with you how he would do it?
No.
Did you request any way for him to do it?
To make sure no one else was around.
Okay. Why didn't they do it the way you wanted?
I don't know. I asked them to take me with my mom when they took them away.
It doesn't seem
This is
to
all
make
fucked.
sense.
I know, it doesn't make sense to me. Because I was supposed to be.
Okay. Can you sit up for a minute, Jen? You made the mistake, okay? Instead of just saying, whatever Jen wants is what's good for us.
What?
Whatever she's happy with. As long as she's happy in her life, I'm happy with it. If she wants to work at Eastside Mario's for the rest of her life, that's fine. If she wants to be a piano teacher, that's great. If she wants to continue figure...
Okay.
To council, we're just waiting for them to call back, okay?
Point is she's fucked. Chat.
March 2000 detective.
All right, thank you.
Testified.
Please stop with the L skip, bro. I can't, bro. I can't. She's just going like this and saying the same things over and over. I can't listen to that, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I don't have ADHD.
Began on the 14th of March 2014, and Jennifer pled not guilty to all charges. Her interrogation tape was one of the more damning pieces of evidence put forward by the prosecution. Yet the most damning were the 116 text messages between her and her boyfriend in the 6 hours leading up to the murder. They thought using burner phones to communicate would cover their tracks, yet forensics were able to uncover the entire discussion just 1 month after the incident. They spoke in detail about how the crime would be carried out, and it was enough to convict them both, as well as each of the intruders.
Bro, are they fucking stupid?
DNA evidence and witness testimony. They were all found guilty of first-degree murder and given a life sentence without the possibility of parole for 25 years. Jennifer Pan is now 34 years of age. She is currently serving her sentence at the Grand Valley Institution for Women in Kitchener, Ontario. She will be first eligible for parole in November of 2035.
Wow. Just like that, bro. Your life is done. Okay. Chats. I know what you guys are going to say. Listen. When my internet gets back, I can't even give you guys an excuse, bro. Listen. Tomorrow, I'm streaming Adin, Speed, Cuff, and Schnaggy. It's going to be a W stream. Something happened at the house. I literally got to go be there. It's nothing I can do about it. So oh my god, you guys are so weird. I have no fucking choice, chat. I wasn't given a choice. I can't say what's happening, but somebody's mad at me right now and I gotta go fix it. It's not Pammy. It's not a girl, it's a guy, okay? Gotta go fix this shit, so let me go fix this. Promise a long one tomorrow. As long as Speed and Cuff and Schnaggy want to go, yes. All right? I love you guys, man. All right? I love you guys with all my heart. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? Tomorrow's going to be an awesome fucking stream. I swear to God it is. Regardless. I'd still stream 3 hours. 5-hour stream tomorrow, right? Oh, my God. All right, guys. I love you so much with all my heart. I love you guys. Just be safe. Have a great night's sleep. I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow.